Yo, what is good, my dudes? So, this past weekend, Sunday, went to the Des Moines, Iowa Regional, capped at 270, and we got 14th place with the ABC 123. I'd like to give out some shout outs to the sponsors, which was Little Fat Tony Gaming and Salt and Friends. And then I'd like to shout out my friends and the shop that helped me out, which was Zeke's Comics and Games, friend Cody Riddle, Cracker Jack, Peter 05, Matt M, and Paul Kistner, like for the two making the trip with me and just being able to have a fun event. So going into the matchups that day, I went X2 and I played Sword Soul 2-1, Sword Soul 2-0, Runic Sprite 2-0, Kashtira 2-0. First loss was in round 5 against Branded 0-2. Then I played Sword Soul 2-0, Kashtira 2-1, Runic Sprite 2-1, and Mathmech 2-1. Now to dive into the meat and potatoes of it, here is the deck list. 2A, 3B, 2C, and a driver boy. Still think 2-3-2 is the correct ratio for the list. Pretty standard. Now into hand trap land, you got your 3 Ash Blossom, card was amazing, and your 2 Beer Boys. Card's picking up in popularity. A lot of people are still not respecting it, and they get punished for it. And you also got your 3 Imperms, like card's cracked. Then for more of the engine, you've got 2 Regulus, shouldn't play anymore, I wouldn't go any less. 1 Destrudo, the card's gonna recur back into the deck, it's gonna do what you need it to. There's no reason to play any more than that. Like, you will find the engine as the results produced today. Further in the engine, we play the Brave package. 2 Water Enchantress, 1 Griffin, 2 Ray, Fate, and a Dragoback. And you have your 3 Hanger, 2 Therian Coliseum, only 2 of the Dragon's Ravine, Terraforming, and Set Rotation. Set Rotation was a fantastic card, being able to, like, I don't use it unless I absolutely need to. It helps being able to stop the infinite permanents from coming down, the evenly matched, so if you have to use it, then use it. If you don't need to, then don't freaking use it. It also makes it so that if any of the other decks, like say Kashtira or Runic, are trying to activate those fields, so you flip the set rotation on them, setting both of the field spells, and at that point, they can't play a new field spell because you haven't activated yours. So it is a fantastic card going offense and defensively. And 2 unauthorized, no need to play anymore. Card's fantastic, but it's still a card I'm not the biggest fan of, but it is needed. And you got your 3 Pot of Prosperities, 1 Foolish Burial, and 1 Call by the Grave. Just standard cards. Now into the extra deck. Fantastic Adventure Tokens and a Nibiru token. Then you got your boy, 3 ABC Buster. Now for the Link 2s, you've got Barricade Board Blocker, which is integral to the strategy, being able to grab back different field spells from your graveyard just from the AFD, absorbing them, or say you open an extra Union Hanger, it gives you that additional discard, or say you open a card that you don't want of the field spells, but you're able to grab it back later. Platinum Gadget didn't summon it once. Like, this card is good, but it's not that great. Like, I never found a time where I couldn't make Buster with everything else in the deck. The amount of great discard presence within the deck now, I don't know if the card is absolutely needed anymore. But further testing will determine that. IP Masquerena and the Magical Nightmare Phoenix. Card is amazing, card's amazing, card's amazing. That is mid. 1 Link 3, Nightmare Unicorn. Did its job, it's fantastic being able to go into the access code and Apollo, which is already standard and known, but being able to have another Link 3, I think would be able to help make those push plays past turn 1 fantastic. So playing 2 Unicorn is what I might be looking into. 1 Apollo, 1 access code, and then the Underworld Goddess. Card is phenomenal, being able to make with the IP during your opponent's turn to be able to help get rid of the problems on the board. Then you got your 1 AFD for the Synchro package. Then we played the Shooting Riser Dragon. And then we also played the Berserker Tenyi. The reason I went with Berserker Tenyi over Omega is I could rip the card out of the hand, they're going to get it back, it's going to come to the field. Depending on what that card is, it could prove to be an issue, but I just would rather get rid of the effect monsters and also being able to attack twice. The way that you make this is say you don't, say you have everything you need, you can go into this card and you don't need the Ancient Fairy Dragon. The idea behind it was to send the Water Enchantress so that you had follow-up, and then being able to sync off this card with one of your pieces to go into the Draco Berserker. I was going to go for the Warlord Savage, but the amount of times that I had an additional Link monster in my graveyard to execute this was not there from testing, so that's why I went with this card instead. The other issue is I didn't summon any of this during the entire tournament. Not once, which is insane. And then the last card, the Buguska Boy. Sadly, this terribly tired Tapir met his end with Darker Remorse. I wasn't expecting that card, it was wild. Alright, now into the sideboard. Fantastic card, Droll Lockbird. It said hello. People are like, haha, I can add things, and then they're really sad after they get that one search. Next card, didn't see it, use it at all. I didn't have a third, Book of Eclipse, so I opted for Book of Moon. As the last one, this card could have literally been anything else. It was lackluster, and I saw it once, and it did nothing. Better card that could be put in there. MVP of the weekend, evenly matched. Great, fantastic card. Helped out so much with clearing. Back row, monsters, the whole 9 yards. Like, best card in the sideboard. Next card, didn't see it, but it could have done things if I had saw it. The man just says no, and unfortunately, he wasn't there for me. Last card, just because of the amount of decks that are just splashing everything and anything into their deck, this card I think will be more impactful coming up later on. It's fantastic. If you have any questions, want a combo video of how the whole thingamajig works, let's get up to 100 likes. I know I've been on the YouTubes, but yeah, it's up to you guys. Peace.